Oy vey, I've overexerted myself. Wrenching around the very fabric of the cosmos, it's tiring. And sometimes you do too much. Gotta take a little break. It's not as tiring as it used to be because my structure has been getting stronger and stronger. But now I just gotta fucking lay down. Oh, maybe it's also because I have a cold. Anything to talk about? How's it going with you, YouTube? Do you like the beard? Do you like the beard braids? Didn't even have to braid that, it braided itself. Two little pointies on the end. What about this side? Yeah, that one's more fluffy. Specifically, it's my spirit-body interface. It's been overtaxed. Needs to take a little while to get back into shape. So I'm gonna lay here so I'm not all lurching around. That's the Lord working hard for you. Although if I'm going to be honest, it's mostly for me. I'm not a fan of being in this world of sin, to say the least, but it's like, well, what can you do? Well, the typical human response is, well, this is just what people do, and I'll do that. And I love myself far too much for that, because sin, that's pain. It's its own punishment. As I mentioned, though, the world has been set up for ever increased sin efficiency. The thing is, sin efficiency is you getting fucked by your own life efficiency. A person might look at me living in this moldy basement, working in a sweatshop, and think my life is bad. I like to complain about shit, I do. My life isn't that bad. Right now, just because my spirit-body interface is, partially fragmented, that's not great. But I'm not talking about the God elements of it. People always want freedom. Freedom. It's so important. And yet, people don't behave free. Not really. They want the things that everybody wants. I've never had that problem, really. Wanting the things everybody wants. I try to evaluate the worth of things. You see people these days, everybody's all burned out. Well, it's shit. I guess I'm burned out too. What the fuck is this? One thing that really gets to me, well, not gets to me, but I notice, is how everyone defends their ego. And that's amazing to me because I'm very lazy, right? If I'm not obligated to do a thing, I'm not getting anything out of it, I just straight up don't do it. Defending your ego, that's something. Nobody's gonna make you do it. You don't owe it to anyone to do it. It takes work. And the ego is fucking imaginary. So it's so crazy how people go around defending their ego, getting arguments, blah blah blah. And it's but you're arguing about imaginary shit, so you could just as easily not do it. And then, well, your blood pressure is going to be lower. Have more time for something that's not unpleasant. If you ever find yourself defending your ego, just take a moment and say, wait a second. Who do I owe this to? Who's making me do this? And the answer is nobody, really. I go around, I look like shit, and I think a lot of people at work might think I'm retarded, but I'm so okay with that, because you know what? People don't ask a lot from a retarded person. They're just happy that you show up on time, do consistent work, follow simple instructions. They don't make you work overtime. You're not valuable enough for that. I like that. I don't work overtime, and that makes me really happy. So many jobs are just constant overtime, overtime all the time. But if everybody thinks you're a mental case and maybe not there, just put much more pressure on you, you might snap. It won't put more pressure on you, and it's nice. See, that was my problem. Wanted people to think well of me. No, if people think I'm delicate or retarded, but it makes my life easier, well then I'd be a fool not to lean into the hey, think I'm retarded thing. Actually, I don't know whether people think I'm retarded or not. Actually, we're not supposed to say retarded these days. Mentally deficient, learning disabled, touched in the head. By the way, here's another great thing about not defending your ego. People, especially, like increasingly, they don't like forming their own opinion and assessment of things. Or rather, they'll form their opinions and assessments either congruent with or in contradiction to the story that you put forward. If you don't defend your ego, if you don't try to give anyone a specific impression of who you are, they just won't even bother to come up with one of their own. And it kind of makes you invisible. That actually probably sounds bad to most people. I don't want to be invisible. Well, you say that, but when you're invisible, like it saves you time. Right? Because people are busy interacting with other egos, defending, reinforcing. If you're just out of that game, you can spend time on yourself, on the things that you love. In my case, working on this 26-dimensional equation. But maybe, for you, video games, or fucking knitting. I don't know you. Ray, you're God, you know literally everything. Oh, psh. It's a good point, but... oh, yeah, my body just feels all slack. That spirit-body interface should be back up and running within, like, an hour and a half, though. Just lay here. My face looks less wrinkly when gravity is pulling my sagging, aging skin down. I mean, maybe I just specifically love being invisible because my whole life I've always been a very special boy. And I gotta tell you, that's fucking exhausting. People just pay attention to me. And, well, not anymore. Not really. I mean, yeah, I see the girls at work eyeballing me. But, I mean, they don't come, like, they ask me questions sometimes, but really? I'm just, like, hard to categorize, and so people just don't bother. They go on about their day. Not all trying to bring me down, not all telling me I'm great, because, it seems like I've had a lot of that in my life. People just trying to bring me down or telling me that I'm great. And really, I don't need either one of those things. It doesn't do anything for me, except for consume my finite life minutes. Invisibility's the way to go. Or that thing that's always happening to me. Some guy feels threatened by my intelligence or my competence. But if people just think you're retarded, they don't find that threatening. If you look all scabby and homeless, they're not like, oh, this guy, I gotta compete with this guy, I gotta bring this guy down. It hurts my feelings how good this guy is. None of that happens. None of that boils up and wastes your fucking time. I hate this world. But not so much anymore, because I'm not having my time wasted. Now, what am I using that time for? Well, just not that. Not a fucking ego game. Everybody just leaves me the fuck alone. Because, it's like, hey man, it's a crazy homeless person. Possibly and probably retarded. I don't need to have conflict with this. I'll just let that guy do his thing. Finally have a measure of peace in this world. Actually, I guess I can see the wrinkles where I'm laying this way. Gravity dragging my aging face down. I don't mind the aging. It says, this guy's old and tired. No need to waste his fucking time with shit. Also, I just admit when I'm wrong. I find it very easy. That's another thing that'll waste your time. Whenever you're wrong, admit it immediately. That way, you get all those on the record. Then if you're not wrong, just say nothing. You don't have to defend when you're right. But everybody's wrong about stuff. Like, pretty regularly. Just immediately admit it. Be proactive about it. Don't make somebody dig it out of you. It's like, oh yeah, I was totally wrong about that. I don't know why I'm giving life advice here. The end is nigh. Everybody's pretty much sorted into their repentant and saved states. Now all the saliva's flowing backward because I'm laying down. It's fine. Right, you say the end is nigh, but you've been saying that for a while now. Like, how nigh is it? Hey man, on a cosmic scale, it's right now. On a human scale, oh well, could be another 30 seconds. Could be another 20 years. On a cosmic time scale, those are indistinguishable. Well, I might have to sit up to vape. I don't know. What if it leaks hot fluid into my mouth? Oh. Did I just get more pale? Is my blood pressure so low that sitting up drained the blood out of my face? That's the Lord working hard for you. Another lesson in life. Kind of silly, because the end is nigh, but if you don't know something, always admit it. And if you're not sure about something, admit that too. It makes life easier. Be like, oh, I have no fucking idea. Be like, here's my speculation, but honestly, I don't fucking know. Put it forth as speculation. Now, I'm giving you the opposite advice that will get you ahead in life. But it depends on what you're trying to get ahead with. If you're trying to get ahead with having some peace in this life, and actually having time to feel good and relaxed, and not be a tense-ass piece of shit, this will get you ahead. Admit when you don't know stuff. Admit when you're not sure about stuff. Put forth speculation, but with the caveat, but I don't fucking know. This is just my speculation. People respond to certainty, and that's why, of course, the biggest fucking idiots are always in charge of shit. People are like, oh, that guy's certain. Yeah. Having a being certain and confident, that's actually pretty easy. So yeah, biggest morons always in charge of shit. But if you want people to leave you fucking alone, they'll go attach themselves to a charlatan who's certain of things. And that guy probably likes it. If you just like not being bothered, always admit when you don't know. So when's the rapture gonna happen, Lord? I don't know. Could be 30 seconds. Could be 12 years. Probably somewhere in between. I just drank a whole thing of almond milk yesterday. And I got a new one today. Man, that's a lot of almond milk. Now, I asked ChatGPT. I said, I really love almond milk. Am I secretly gay? And ChatGPT assured me that loving almond milk has nothing to do with the person's sexuality. Alright, I'm glad I got that settled. It's like the song said, the world is a vampire sent to drain. But it's a vampire that you have to open your own veins for. The world's a vampire, but it can't suck anything out of you that you're not offering. Your time, your need. Life is pretty good. Like, I think I got the mold under control. But I think about my life problems, and I'm like, well, you know, I gotta deal with this fucking mold. Or when I'm at work, there's the forklift fumes, and I gotta hold my breath while walking through a wake of forklift fumes. Like, I go to the bathroom, and of course, right then a forklift veers into the exact path I'm going to take, and poisons up every cubic micrometer of air along that path. And I'm like, God fucking damn it. Now I've got to hold my breath for like 2 minutes straight while I walk. Or just breathe the shit in like a dumbass motherfucker. Getting pretty good at holding my breath. These are my problems. But then I think of like the problems of most people. And it's just constantly peddling and, you know, putting forth energy for shit that'll never pay off. You know, trying to prove yourself. Trying to manage your ego, which no one is paying you to do, by the way. When you defend your ego, it's not like you get a handful of nickels for that. All you get is consumed metabolic energy, higher cortisol levels. I've got the hourglass-shaped body because my cortisol levels are just so low. Now I see a little tremble in the hand there. You can tell my spirit-body interface is recovering, but it's still a little shaky. Maybe I should lay down again. I mentioned to somebody that at every other job I've ever had, it just gets worse and worse. It starts off annoying, it gets a little better, and then it just gets worse and worse. But I take some responsibility for that. There's a reason every other job I've ever had keeps getting worse. It's because of me having to prove myself. Me caring what people think. Be like, I can handle it, I can handle a little more, oh, I can do overtime, it's no big deal. And putting on that brave face just invites an ever-increasing workload. But me, maybe it takes a long time, but I do learn from mistakes. A lot of times I look like I can't handle shit, you know? I'll freak out a little, like, oh my god, catastrophe. And because I don't seem nearly as confident and capable, they don't just keep piling shit on. It's at a nice, stable state. If anything, it's gotten slightly better. Just conveying the wisdom that I've acquired. Now, it's not how you get ahead in life. But is getting ahead really getting ahead? I mean, if you have stuff that you can point at so the other humans make the right faces, yeah, sure, that's something. But do you really have anything for you? Do you have any peace of mind? Or do you have increasing burdens? I think it's funny on those occasions when somebody comments on a video about back in my Snake Plisskenus days, like, let's get real here. Let's get really real. I wasn't that great. What I did is I'd find people saying stupid shit, and then I'd say shit that was like maybe 10% less stupid, but not even 50% less stupid. just picking on people who are already down, if you really think about it. Why? Oh, just to have a sense of superiority. It's sinful shit, man. Doesn't make the stupid people less stupid. Certainly doesn't make me any smarter. Just a way to feel better by feeling better than somebody else. But here's the problem with going through life, trying to feel good by feeling better than somebody else. You need that person. You're dependent upon that person. And what would you do if all the fucking idiots disappeared? Who would you be? What would you be? If you want to be your own person, it's irrelevant who you're better than or worse than. See, all that Snake Plisskenus shit, it was easy. Very easy. Because it's easy to be certain. You know, you find somebody saying stupid shit, you can be certain that it's stupid. And the things that you say in response have that certainty. And that will get some popularity. But it's really just being an idiot. Just wasting time. It's kind of mean as well. It's not really worth my time. Anything really complex, nuanced, anything that's about actual truth, that'll never be popular, so I can guarantee you I'm never going to be popular again. And that's pretty nice. Because popularity is one of those things, it's actually fucking worthless. Like, what does it do for you? I mean, I guess it got me a few trips to places. Canada, Colorado, Connecticut, Ireland. But it's not worth the trouble. It's not worth the trouble of degrading yourself by being simple and certain and not really doing anything. Now, the shit I'm doing now, it's pretty complex. It's pretty nuanced. I don't really see a lot of people being all that interested in how God shit works. I just, catalog what I'm doing because it amuses me. It amuses me to think about God Almighty Himself showing people His inscrutable process, just putting it right out there online. And it just, it's just some tedious fucking paperwork, I guess. So to speak. Some of it's paperwork, some of it's woodwork. Because it seems like something people would be interested in. God doing His thing. And so it's funny that God just says, here it is. Nobody's gonna care. It's just a crazy guy. Alright, I feel like my battery's about 90% recharged. Gotta at least sit up and drink some almond milk and then right back to the salt mines. Hey, look at that. Pretty interesting. No, it's not. It's fine. Have a nice night.